My name is Robert Christopher Wayne Weathers. I live at 3102 Central Hill Road, Edgar, Mississippi, 38841. I'm under attack by what appears to be Scientology. From what I have observed, there are 11 dimensions in the universe. There is extra space. These dimensions reside within the particle itself. So inside of the particles in which we consist of lie 11 dimensions. We utilize, or we have biology in these extra dimensions. We utilize it to have an afterlife. When we die, we live on utilizing our extra dimensional biology. Scientology is the practice of utilizing your extra dimensional biology before you die. They remove it from themselves. They utilize technology and techniques to turn it into an upper dimensional vehicle. There is an entanglement property between our third dimension and our inverse. So if it is removed from you, no matter how far away it goes, you are still connected to this biology. So our biology presents itself in layers. As it grows out of us, it creates a biology into the next three dimensions. And then as it transcends that, as our energy goes into the next three dimensions, it creates a layer on top of that biology. And then it goes into the next three dimensions and creates another layer, and so on and so forth. Scientologists like to cut themselves along the layers, so they like to remove the layers from themselves. And they wind up with three or four biologies in outer space in which they can turn into an upper dimensional vehicle. These biologies can't function properly in this state. They have to utilize organs and tissues from other humans and other species in an attempt to make themselves whole. So they use organs and tissues from humans and animals like lizards or reptiles, insects or bugs, and worms. They use this biology to modify their upper dimensional biology. They use it as transplants to complete their upper dimensional biologies so they can function properly again. What happens is as they get cleaved, either an organ stays behind or it gets split and it can't function properly anymore. So they try to make each one of these four biologies complete biology. They try to make each one of them an 11 dimensional biology. And then they also make surrogates and little pawns, or they call them pawnses. Or they make they use part of their biology to create little biologies or surrogates. So they are they're biologists or body modders. That's what Scientology is all about. They utilize their extra dimensional biology before they die to access the upper dimension. So our upper dimensional biology comes with special abilities. They have powerful eyesight. We can see in all dimensions down to the molecular level. I'm being harassed and threatened. They're stealing body parts from me. I'll explain why in a second. I'm being tortured and harassed greatly. Yes, I'm very sick. I feel very numb. They are premeditating my death. And because of this entanglement property, they have removed all of my biology. Some of my biology they're using for transplants for themselves. Some of it they're using for surrogate purposes. And some of it they're using as a torture device. Because I'm still in it, even though they have it in their possession. And they are doing horrible things to it. They use torture devices. They like to stick things inside of me and leave them there. They cause me pain. They like to use worms and parasites. They harass me constantly. Yes, they are very violent, irritable. So this technology that they utilize, first First off, they like to use this entanglement property as part of their hive mind technique. So there are compounds on Earth that house biology. So they like to remove parts of their brain, like their brainstem and their thalamus and their eyes. And they have little pods or little boxes they will put this biology in and install it into a storage system. From there, they use electrodes and sensors and wires and things to interface this biology to a computer system. From there, they can communicate with each other. They can interact with each other in a digital landscape. And this also acts as a command center so they can drive their upper dimensional biology and other biologies. They also have technology that they can utilize on the origin biology. On your third dimension or your extra dimensions attached to it, they have digital devices they can interface with brain tissue or your central nervous system. Most of these devices act as a recording system. So they can record sensory perception input like eyesight, hearing, uh, taste, smell, touch. And they can also, this hive mind allows them to connect to each other so they can experience each other's sensory perception using these devices. It's like you are experiencing another person, whatever they experience. I'm being assaulted to destroy my intelligence. So this technology also allows them to drive other organisms. So it allows them to drive uh, humans and animals and insects and worms in any dimension. They can even drive third dimensional organisms. They are premeditating my death. This is a heist. So lastly, this technology artificially stimulates brain tissue. They can stimulate, they can isolate and stimulate individual memories, neural connections, thought patterns, and they can stimulate areas of the brain such as your emotional center. They can make you feel joy, pleasure. They can make you cry. And then they also have a screen. So this screen, it interfaces with the visual cortex of your brain and your thalamus. And you can stimulate this screen yourself. So instead of seeing the visual cortex part of your brain, you actually see this screen inside of your head. It's an extra dimensional technology, and you can stimulate the screen. And these people can also stimulate it for you, so they can put things on your screen too. And there's auditory devices that allow for auditory communication. And then this technology elevates neurochemistry. So it artificially stimulates your neurons. It runs energy through them in your nervous system. So this stimulation elevates it forces your neurons to produce neurochemistry. So it elevates neurochemicals like dopamine, norepinephrine, serotonin, and it also causes an endorphin response within your nerves. So it has a very narcotic-like effect upon the users. These people are clacked out of their minds. They are high all the time from this digital technology. Yes, these people need other people's body parts to complete themselves. That's all they do for a living. That is their profession. The Scientology profession is about biology. Yes, mutilation. So from what I have observed, the human genome produces an Anunnaki, an 11-dimensional humanoid with horns on our head. We have extra dimensional biology. We look different. We have big hands. We have tubes that come out of our feet. We have a soul tube. That's what they call it. It's a sexual appendage. And we can fly through outer space. That is what I have observed. Yes, we are light breathing demons. The human genome is. Now, our extra dimensions can be modified while we are still alive. They like to extra dimensional organisms, dead people, and Scientologists. They can modify genetics and help us grow and develop and change. So I think a lizard person is a common practice for modification. I don't know if they're turned around right. I'll explain that in a second. And then there's the blue blood form, which is a cleve alien form. Then there's the green. I call them the greens. Yes, our eyes glow if we're turned around right. That's the dead. That is what dead people experience. So we do something called raising or turning around, where upon death we grab all of our particles and pull them into ourselves. We literally turn ourselves in. It looks like it's inside out, but it's actually outside in. We go into our inner dimensions, down through our core, and we face the opposite direction. It looks like we turn around. We face in the opposite direction and come out into the inverse. And then we get molecular light transfer. We glow. Our skin glows, our eyes glow, and they even said we can breathe light, and that is an Anunnaki, a true Anunnaki. And you can also get these features on this side of the universe. Scientologists don't turn around. You when you turn around, you face the opposite side or the reverse side of when you're among the living. The living face this way, dead people face that way. They are turned around backwards, and they fly into the matter in which we consist of. Yes, there are extra particles, from what I have observed, there are extra particles attached to our inverse. So there is extra biology there apart from our 11 dimensions. That's what they call the inverse, but humans call the whole thing the inverse. Everything that's inside of us is the inverse. That's the dark particle of the dark side. So these Scientologists, they're conditioned to practice Scientology, which is removing biology from people or modifying biology. They work with body parts constantly. Yes, and some of them even uh, they ordain our afterlife or deaths. They control what we experience most of the time against our will. So instead of humans experiencing our Anunnaki, they turn us into little Barbie dolls or fake lizard people or little aliens or something. They have a lot of control over biological modification, so they can turn us into whatever they want to. Yes, they are keeping a lot of humans from experiencing true afterlife experience, which is in Anunnaki or whatever you choose. I mean, there are a few different forms that can help, but the Anunnaki is our bloodline. We are the bloodline of Anunnaki. That's what I have observed. One of them showing me another one. Are you modified? So, I mean, it could be an alien form. I've seen all kinds of organisms, but I've also seen Anunnakis. Well, they're just pissed off because they're practicing psychology on us. It's illegal to modify a human against their will. Yes, I am hive mind. I have been for the last 13 years. So these Scientologists uh, they like to force assimilation upon people. Anybody with influence, power, or authority. If you have an employment position in which they desire, they will force you to assimilate to control your behavior. They like to kidnap people they are attracted to, a lot of times for sexual purposes, or me for my psychology. They liked my psychology. They wanted to get close to me. They wanted me in the hive mind. because I have high intelligence. I think properly or think well, and I write literature a lot. I'm an author. They wanted to exploit this ability within me. So these people are their technology and their disposition is causing some severe psychological issues within these people. See, removing body parts and modifying body parts is a harmful activity. They literally kill people. They take our afterlives away for their practices. And they have become conditioned to this. They think it's okay. But it has caused psychological issues within these people because they know it's harmful. It's wrong. And their technology, the way it stimulates them, it elevates their neurochemistry, it stimulates their nervous system. It is causing psychological issues like psychosis and delusion, irritability. They are extremely addicted to things, especially ideas or practices. They are violent people. They are jealous and petty. They don't want people to have their own body parts. They see our body parts as a commodity, something in which they can utilize for themselves or to make money with. So they think taking away another person's body part is okay. It makes them happy because of their extreme irritability to hurt another person. They are conditioned to do this extremely. Uh, we're seeing jealousy and pettiness, machoism. So this stimulation also elevates hormone levels. It stimulates our glands and our endocrine system. It elevates hormones like testosterone and estrogen. It can even elevate like oxytocin levels. And this is leading to violent behavior and machoism. I'm extremely sick. They are torturing me badly. They have removed all of my biology. Some of it they're using for transplant purposes. I guess I'll explain the whole story. So, I used to be a political activist on social media. I participated in politics. I had a large following. We discussed elected officials, lawmaking, policy, environmental issues, and we participated in politics. So we like to persuade elections and lawmaking and policy. And I'm also an author. So I write literature. I write a lot. I inspired a lot of people and helped a lot of people come up with their own ideas and write their own literature. And someone forced me to assimilate. Yes, I started hearing voices. Well, they started telling me what to do. They tried to control me, take over my life. They started telling me how to do my job, when I could go to the bathroom, when I could take breaks. And I told them to get away from me. I did not accept their advances. Then they became hostile. More people came. Everybody started talking to me, being hostile to me. Eventually, I started yelling at them to get away from me. Then the communication dialed down, but it became apparent that the world was invading my privacy. Civilians and the government. Everybody in the hive mind. Scientology. I'm being threatened. They're giving me a death threat. Please get away from me. You're breaking the law. Yes, these people are very religious. They are religious zealots. They have an occult behavior. They like to do seances and they torture people to death as a religious activity. Like cutting heads off of goats, except they do it to humans. Put holes in the ground or put holes in space time, say some prayers and stuff and drop them through it, stuff like that. But then these people, they got to witness me writing my intellectual property. They got to invade my privacy and watch me write uh, my books, watch me study and do philosophy. and science. They became very attracted to my psychology, my ability to create and write literature. They started selling seats to my phone service. They let other Scientologists invade my mind space for a fee. Yes, so y'all can watch my psychology. Then this turned into biological theft. So they started stealing my upper dimensional biology. They wanted the ability to write and create and think as I do. I'm being assaulted. They're sticking stuff inside of me. They're premeditating my death. I feel sick very badly. Yes, they stole my body parts. So some of it they use for transplant purposes. My brain tissue, they can take a brains out of someone else's head, my extra dimensional brain, and utilize it for themselves. So they use brain tissue as transplant purpose for transplant purposes. I'm very sick. And some of it they use for surrogate purposes. Oh, I'm very sick. So they used part of my biology to create another organism on which they can thrive. And then some of it they're using for torture purposes. So they have my biology split into a million pieces. It's like Scientology. They call it ordained. That's when they remove your biology. Except mine is used for torture purposes. And they're playing games with it. They merge my biology with other people's, and they call it sending it to hell. They put it in bad places or subject it to severe environments which cause pain and discomfort, like burning and claustrophobia and electricity and worms or parasites. So this, yes, it turned into biological theft. Then it turned into a torture, a snuff film. So they're using this. They call them preservation devices. This technology that records our sensory perception organ. Everyone in the hive has them. They're using this technology or this information to make a film or a movie, and it's a snuff film. I am very sick. He says I won't stay that way. I am very sick. So they're doing the same thing to my animals. They're using electricity. If I touch something, I get shocked, or they stick stuff in me and pull it out all the time. And they think they're going to torture me to death and steal my intellectual property and publish it for themselves. So I'm part Native American. My Native American name is Crazy Bird. I got this name because there are Native American legends that speak of thunder beings, of beings that inhabit the spirit world, the upper realms. And I got to observe these beings. They were crazy, violent people. They were committing crimes against humanity and destroying the environment. So I come up with the name Crazy Bird. It means the bird is gone crazy. Zenkala Witko. Okay. And I'm an author. So I write literature. I wrote some comic books. I wrote Crazy Bird comics. About Crazy Bird, Thunder Beings, Buffalo Bob. I wrote the Environment Creation Agency. It's a government agency that replaces the Federal Reserve and prints a new type of currency that converts into normal currency once spent on approved products and services. It's just a new way. It's a new way to print money. It's a new It's a new way to back money by something. So money is backed by quality of life purchases. It's explained on my other videos. And I created divine currency, which is utilized by the ECA. They're doing all kinds of things to me. I'm very sick. I'm extremely sick. Then I wrote Alien Bob, Bug Bob, about helping life on this planet evolve into a spacefaring species, so other organisms, including us, can evolve certain features and genetics that allow us to survive space travel in the third dimension. And it's about colonizing other planets. And violently ill. One of them said, "You'll never know," because they've got my biology in all different kind of places. They got me split to a million pieces, especially my brain tissue. Yes, and I had to experience that. They got parts of it everywhere. So things are going on over here and over there and up there and over here and over there. And they are violent and hostile and evil people. And then lastly, uh, a thing that is important is our third dimensions experience time differently than our inverse does. So our third dimensions experience time as a linear event. We see days passing one after another. We see seconds, minutes, and hours. Our inverse experiences time as a simultaneous event. They see the past, the present, and the future happening at the same time. That means in this very moment, I was being assimilated 13 years ago. That's why they were so hostile. This was going on 13 years ago. And at this very moment, I'm being born. In this very moment, they are driving my father in the hospital to give me the name Christopher so they can call me Saint Christopher and sell this whole ordeal to the Christian community and the rest of society as a Christian martyrdom. Now I'm getting victim shamed. So they are all stimulated and addicted, and they keep saying the same things over and over again. And they keep trying to come up with some false narrative in which says that I've somehow done something wrong to justify their criminal behavior against me. It's another Scientology torture victim. Yes, they do this often to people. So they kidnap people, they force assimilation, they traffic humans for sexual purposes and for organ donation purposes. So they need people's organs. They are body parts mongers. They have a disposition which they think which leads to a God complex. So when you remove your extra dimensional biology, whenever they practice Scientology and create their upper dimensionals, whenever you go, you can go to a different place in the universe, far away from the third dimension. You expand at a greater rate than we do on Earth in the third dimension. They become big compared to us. Scientology has led bad environments on Earth. It's destroying life on this planet. People are sick. Oh, I got to experience Scientology. This is now this is now a common practice in this universe. These people cutting everybody on the earth to pieces. It's because they're artificially stimulated and they have a god complex. So you can see the real. We do you and several other people. No, there are people all over the place doing this. and they keep me sick. They have hindered my work, my literature. They have stopped me from producing it and publishing it myself, and I don't feel safe or want to write and uh, complete my work. Well, I do. It is completed. I mean, it's enough to publish. All of it is, but I don't want to work on it and process it and publish it uh, with these people involved. They are invading my privacy and reading my mind. And the more that I write, the more they take from me. What I'm saying, ha ha ha, it's already a done deal. Ha ha ha, we're going to kill you and take your intellectual property. Now I'm getting victim shamed. They're saying I've done something wrong. Yes, they're twacked out of their fucking heads. And they're playing God on the human race. Yes, we are Nunakais and lizard people and aliens. We're Nunakais first. That guy don't have cool people. That's why he's so pissed off. He thinks he's it. I'm severely ill. I've been tortured and mutilated. They have taken all of my biology, and they think they're going to give me transplants and digital devices and cover up the damage whenever they're done. I do not consent. No more foreign objects, no more transplants, no more anything. Put my biology somewhere safe and get away from it. I am still connected to that biology. You're committing crimes against me. I'm very sick. They're assaulting me at this moment. Yes, they can see the future. They think it's okay because they get away with it, or some of them do. But a lot of people die because of Scientology, the things they do to people on Earth. And most of the victims don't speak out about it. Some do, but most don't. And the ones that do are not at liberty to discuss, they call it the classified or the confidential information, which is Scientology. If they could, you'd think they're crazy. Body parts and aliens. They rape people and torture people rampantly. Yes, and these people get up there, they are up there for all time. That means they are up there from the beginning of the universe to the end of the universe. That's how they experience it. And they get to interact with the universe in that manner. They like to sabotage people. They're surrogate makers and soul thieves, body part snatchers. Yes, we need to police the upper dimensions and hold people accountable for what their actions upon the people on Earth. So these people are hurting people from a remote location. Yes, they paparazzi people. That's what happened to me. I got paparazzi and exploited and experimented on. Now they're talking about turning me into a surrogate or committing identity theft. I am severely ill. I am very sick. So they have also given me parasites. These people have created worms or they're using worms as a surrogate. Parasitic worms. Yes, I have some third dimensional worms. Or used to. I used to have a bunch of them. They killed most of them. What happens is they gave me worms and then cleaved me, removed biology. So the extra dimensions of the worms went with it. So my extra dimensional biology has worms too. Yes, and they are up there driving worms through my biology. They're using them as a torture device. Now they're victim shaming me. Say I've done something wrong. These are humans on Earth controlling their upper dimensional biology. This is Scientology. And they're twacked out of their heads and violent and hostile. I have something they want. So they're going to torture me to death and take it from me. That's what Scientology does to people. They have gotten millions of people. If you control the sands of time, if you can control the human race and create a religion or a religious event, why would you choose torture and murder, theft, and rape? That is an occult behavior. It's violence. You should have created something like the God of Life that helps everyone grow and develop and be healthy and happy. Yes, the CIA is involved. So is the FBI and the military. Several politicians, several big businesses or big corporations. A lot of them are affiliated with Skull and Bones and Freemasons. A lot of the entertainment professionals are involved. The actors, marketing companies, media companies. Get away from me! You're breaking the law. Yes, they're hiding some of my biology, and they are not recording it, and it is being assaulted. They're going to hurt me in some way. It is out of the public's view because I'm still entangled to the entire biology, no matter where it goes. You say, "Yeah," she says, "I'm an occult member." They're cracked. They're twacked out of their heads. I've been riding my intellectual property since I was a kid, and I never got cleaved until recently. Now they're claiming they helped me write my intellectual property in some way. That is a lie. As soon as they started practicing Scientology on me, I became ill. I lost brain function. I became sick. I lost the ability to write as well as I used to. I used to be so good. I mean, I didn't even have to edit my stuff. I could write so well. And then Scientology happened. I continued to work on my stuff, but it's not, it takes a lot of editing to get it what I want it to be. I got to slow down and take my time to do it, which I always do that, but I've been brain damaged. They are petty and jealous, and they don't even want me to have the ability to do it. Yes, they want it for themselves. Yes, that's what kind of psychology we're witnessing. You're breaking the law. From what I have observed in the last 60 years, Scientology has been letting a lot of people accessing the upper dimensions, and they transcend time. They get to have an effect on human past and the future. They have caused chaos, and I believe they created Christianity. Done a lot of other bad things. They're probably responsible for wars and terrorism and people conquering each other. And this all happened within the last 60 years. And most of these people are still alive. And they're all artificially stimulated. Yes, I get victim shamed constantly. They keep uh, falsely accusing me of things that I didn't do, try to justify their criminal behavior towards me. They're going to try to say all kinds of bad things about me. No, I've never been a surrogate, and I've never done anything wrong. The only crimes that I'm guilty of is petty drug use. For the last 13 years, I've been under the care of a psychologist and a psychiatrist due to these people's behavior against me. I had to pay a lot of money for medical attention. I am $50,000 in debt at the moment for medical attention. Yes, I'm on psychiatric meds. Yes, it's a false narrative. One of them said, God's he's got my back. So I don't care what you do at this point. It is against the law for people to be both alive and dead at the same time. It creates a conflict of interest on Earth. You can utilize your upper dimensional biology to do things against humanity. Yes, it gives them an upper edge. They can literally make themselves rich. They can watch the future and bet on sports games. They can gamble, which a lot of them do. A lot of them make money. They can hurt people and sabotage people. Just take over businesses with their technology, make people surrogates, or force assimilation upon people. They can take people's upper dimensional biology and hold it hostage, try to control a person's behavior. Yeah, they damage my ability to write. I can still write, but not as good as I used to. Yes, I can speak. There is a you utilize different regions of your brain to think and then speak. When you speak, it's like you shortcut. Your brain produces a shortcut. When you think, you actually use a larger part of your brain to think and come up with ideas and think about complex issues and things like that. They have damaged this area of my brain. I don't think as well as I used to. I used to have an amazing psychology. I have ability to create and write. Yes, I'm a tool maker. It's illegal. They're trying to come up with some false narrative to say this is my fault somehow. It's a lie. That's what they're doing at the moment. They're victim shaming me. Yes, I yelled at you people for killing me and family members. They took out family members and torturing me and harassing me, being hostile. He's trying hard to get away with this. That's why he's so psychotic and delusional. Keeps rambling on and on about, oh, he did something wrong. And then they're lying about it. And they've done this to me, my family members, my coworkers, my neighbors, my community, and the people around me. And everyone that's affiliated with me has been afflicted somehow by these people. That's what Scientology does. I feel very sick. Trying to damage my upper dimensional brain tissue at the moment. That's your fault. That is not my fault. Bunch of twacked out motherfuckers up there playing God on the human race. That's one person. No, no one ever helped me write my intellectual property. After I wrote my intellectual property, they added more technology. They started removing biology, and then they became more involved with my biological process. Yes, they got to witness me right. First, they started exploiting me. They allowed other Scientologists to invade my mind space for a fee. So a lot of other people paid money, real money on earth, to listen to my thoughts, to watch me think. Then they started stealing my intellectual property. And then it turned into biological theft. Yes, that's how they do it. Because of this entanglement property, we are still we are still in our biology, even if it's removed from us. Don't just keep them like that. I do not consent to you messing with my biology in any way. You're breaking the law. You're breaking the law. Get away from me. You're breaking the law. Yes, these are body parts mongers. Now they're trying to do something in my afterlife. They're trying to make me scared, and they're trying to make me kill myself in some way. Yes, using their technology. They're going to artificially stimulate my brain in a way that makes me kill myself. They're going to mind control me or control my behavior. Surrogate technology. He says, it's already a done deal. Chris will never explain. That's what one of them just said. I hope that's true. Yes, it's rich people doing this. Social media, internet companies, Microsoft, tech companies, Google, internet companies, big business owners, the government. So politicians, government agencies like the FBI, the CIA, and the military. Please get away from my biology. I do not consent to you messing with my biology in any way. He says, well, we got to get the job done. You're breaking the law. Get away from me. Yes, they are addicted to this. They have elevated neurochemistry.